Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So we are back, I guess you could say home, here in New York City at the world famous Matchless Gifts, 26 2nd Avenue with Srila Prabhupada, preparing for a program this evening. It is Wednesday for us. God knows what day it is for you.
Monday.
And we have a nice program this evening with Chaitanya Charan Prabhu. So for those of you who appreciate Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, wonderful devotee, you can watch it on the Bhakti Center YouTube. Go to the live channel and it will be there. Please forgive me, I have some horrible allergies and they're a little bit relentless this time of year.
Alright, text Canto 4, Chapter 24, text 58.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Text 58. My dear Lord, your lotus feet are the cause of all auspicious things and the destroyer of all the contamination of sin. I therefore beg your Lordship to bless me by the association of your devotees who are completely purified by worshipping your lotus feet and who are so merciful upon the conditioned souls. I think that your real benediction will be to allow me to associate with such devotees. Prabhupada. The Ganges water is celebrated as being able to eradicate all kinds of sinful reactions. In other words, when a person takes his bath in the Ganges, he becomes freed from all life's contaminations. The Ganges water is celebrated in this way because it emanates from the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Similarly, those who are directly in touch with the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and who are absorbed in the chanting of his glories are freed from all material contamination. Such unalloyed devotees are able to show mercy to the common conditioned soul. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur has sung that the devotees of Lord Chaitanya are so powerful that each one of them can deliver a universe. In other words, it is the business of devotees to preach the glories of the Lord and deliver all the conditioned souls to the platform of Shuddha Sattva, pure goodness. Here the word Su-Sattva means Shuddha Sattva, the transcendental stage beyond material goodness. By his exemplary prayers, Lord Shiva teaches us that our best course is to take shelter of Lord Vishnu and his Vaishnava devotees. That's interesting because today's morning class at the Bhakti Center across the road, a tutor Gopi gave class because today's Ekadashi, and she was saying how Bhaktivedanta Swami would say that look around you, the people that you're with here now serving are the ones that you're going to be up there going back. When you go back to Godhead, you'll be serving with. So you better get it right here, and learn how to associate. And yes, a good point actually. I was thinking. Because although this spiritual world is very big, so you'd think people will be spread out, and there's obviously lots of different planets, so Krishna might be kind and put people other planets,
Well, there's only, there are many planets in Vaikuntha, but there's only, I suppose, one Goloka Vrindavan planet.
Yeah, but you've got a planet where Lord Ram is and where Vamana Devi is.
Yeah, so if you want to go to be with Lord Ram, then no problem.
Like, not me, someone else, I'm saying.
Oh, I see.
But anyway, yeah, and Bhaktivedanta Maharaj would also regularly say the people, which I can't remember now what he said, but he says something like, most likely the people that you're with now, devotees, are the ones that will be there when you die.
Yeah, at the time of death.
And you think, oh Lord. So that's also interesting.
Starting to sound like Bhava Bhakti is not so inspired by the people she's hanging out with. And I'm beginning to wonder if that might mean me.
Anyway, the point is it's very
What is the
important to cultivate nice relationships with devotees. It's very important. And we were just saying, remember, yesterday that we don't know everyone's backstory and or what everyone deals with, and we all just come together every day and deal with the front end stuff, you know, where someone's just barely maybe holding it together, or dealing with you through whatever conditionings and struggles and trauma they've had, and then you don't know that because I can't read their mind or their hearts and what they've been through, but I'm just dealing with how they therefore interact, as it were. So the conclusion to me was be kind to everyone.
Wow. I have to say I really appreciated where Srila Prabhupada says that Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur has sung, I'm not sure where that's sung, that the devotees of Lord Chaitanya are so powerful that each one of them can deliver a universe. So what inspires me is that you are a devotee of Lord Chaitanya and you can deliver an entire universe. So don't forget that is your role and your duty and your call to responsibility, that actually, as Prabhupada then goes on to say, that it is our business of devotees to preach the glories of the Lord and deliver the conditioned soul. So, yeah, nice. Text 59. Okay. The devotee whose heart has been completely cleansed by the process of devotional service and who is favored by Bhakti Devi does not become bewildered by the external energy, which is just like a dark well. Being completely cleansed of all material contamination in this way, a devotee is able to understand very happily your name, fame, form, activities, etc. Purport. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Satam Prasangan Mam Avirya Samvido Bhagavanti Ritkarna Rasayana Kata Tajjo Sanad Ashwa Pavargavartmani Shraddha Ratir Bhaktir Anukramishyati. Simply by the association of pure devotees, one can understand the transcendental name, fame, quality, and activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has repeatedly said, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastri Koi, Lava Matra, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. Simply by associating with a pure devotee, one becomes wonderfully advanced in Krishna consciousness. Sadhu Sangha, or association with a devotee, means always engaging in Krishna consciousness by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra and by acting for Krishna. Specifically, chanting the Hare Krishna mantra purifies one, and the chanting is therefore recommended by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaito Darpana Marjanam. By chanting the names of Krishna, the mirror of the heart is cleansed and the devotee loses interest in everything external. When one is influenced by the external energy of the Lord, his heart is impure. When one's heart is not pure, he cannot see how things are related to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Idam hi Vishwan Bhagavan Ive Tadaha. He whose heart is purified can see that the whole cosmic manifestation is but the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he whose heart is contaminated sees things differently. Therefore, by satsang, or association with devotees, one becomes perfectly pure in heart. Lovely verse, beautiful purport. And when my wife was speaking, I was thinking she was going to say, because actually we're reading Brihad Bhagavatam Rita at the moment, And the conversation with Narada and Lord Shiva is basically taken from this section of the conversation with Lord Shiva. And we see that Lord Shiva here is glorifying the pure devotees. And that's why in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, although Parvati, his wife, recommends that Narada Muni should go and speak to Lakshmi Devi, Lord Shiva calls him kind of on the side and says, look, actually, you should go and see Prahlad, because Prahlad is a pure devotee, and the pure devotees are really the perfection of life, and that's who Krishna is most endeared to. So it's interesting to see this here, how Sadhu Sangha is being repeatedly again and again encouraged, and how important it is to get association. And this morning, Achyuta Gopi Devi was saying like-minded association, and Prabhupada says that again and again, that we should find like-minded association. In the spiritual world, there may not be different planets in Goloka, but there are definitely different camps, and it means that there are devotees that we will get on with and devotees that we may not get along with, but there's no animosity or no, what was that word, discord, no disharmony between the devotees, because they're all trying to serve Krishna to the best of their ability, like that.
Okay, next paragraph. One who is pure in heart is never attracted by the external energy, which urges the individual soul to try to dominate material nature. The pure heart of a devotee is never disturbed when he executes devotional service in the form of hearing, chanting, remembering, etc. In all, there are 9 processes, and one can follow in the execution of devotional service. In any case, a pure-hearted devotee is never disturbed. The Bhakti Yoga process must be carried out by avoiding the 10 offences one can commit while chanting the Maha Mantra and the 64 offences one can commit while worshipping the deity. When a devotee strictly follows the rules and regulations, Bhakti Devi becomes very much satisfied with him, and at that time he is never disturbed by anything external. A devotee is also called a Muni. The word Muni means thoughtful. A devotee is as thoughtful as a non-devotee is speculative. The non-devotee's speculation is impure, but a devotee's thoughts are pure. Lord Kapila and Sukadev Goswami are also called Muni, and Vyasadeva is addressed as Maha Muni. A devotee is addressed as Muni or thoughtful when he purely understands the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The conclusion is that when one's heart is purified by the association of devotees and by the avoidance of the offences committed when chanting and worshipping the Lord, the transcendental name, form and activities of the Lord are revealed by the Lord.
Thank the Lord.
What stood out for me initially is the fact that a pure devotee is never disturbed. I was thinking about that recently, actually, because I was thinking, just certain challenges or situational challenges, and it can be disturbing, And I was thinking about that today, Mangwarati. I was thinking, well, you got a choice. You can be joyful or joyless. I was thinking that when I was looking at the deities. I was thinking it's up to you, and you can pursue one path or the other.
Sorry.
I know. We are very sorry.
All of you are probably in agony.
Well, not as much as me, but yeah. Not as much as you. As I was saying,
Joyful,
you don't need to
joyful or
you
joyless.
What's he keep talking and he's like coughing to death and all that? Lord have mercy. And so the point is, we're never disturbed. If only he's never disturbed, Lord. And that, we should just pick that. I'm all annoyed now, but we should just pick the joyful path. And also what stood out was, where is it now? Committing offences. So the Bhakti Yoga process must be carried out by avoiding the 10 offences while chanting. Hold on, because you keep... I know. And the 64 offences one can commit while worshipping the deity. So the Bhakti Yoga process must be carried out by avoiding the 10 offences and the 64 offences. I was thinking, jeepers, the 64 avoiding, because like today I was dressing, and we're dressing Nishingadev. It's got a really big mouth, this Sheila, and he doesn't sit properly, so sometimes I have to sit him up. So I won't lie, I've had, to put my fingers in his mouth, because you got to hold him sort of thing. So I was holding him from his mouth, like, sit up, in a nice way, obviously. He didn't bite me or anything, but I was thinking, Lord, there must be some, there would be some section of Brahmins or whatever that would be like, first of all, why is this woman touching the Nishinga Sheila? And secondly, what the hell are you doing? Pull him up like that. When you read, and then it just made me think how merciful, as we keep saying, and we always remember it when we come here, that Prabhupada is, because the fact is there are so many rules and regulations, and Prabhupada said, if I told you them, you wouldn't even come out of the bathroom, because there's so many to do, So then you think, yeah, but you came here, like literally here where we are now, Matchless Gifts, and the sort of people that came to see him, that I assure you, they were not following even one of the 64 offences. And, no offence, but anyway, they...
Sounds offensive.
But Prabhupada gave them the opportunity, as he's given us, to go back to Godhead within the parameters that he has set, which clearly shows how in he is with Krishna, that is accepted. Because when we're reading the Bhagavatam, when we're reading about these personalities, then, they're not ordinary personalities, and they've gone through so many penances. Just if we're reading, we were at ISKCON Phoenix, so we're reading about, we're in the 10th canto.
Third chapter.
So it was regarding Devaki and Vasudeva, and how many lifetimes births they had to get Krishna as their son. And you think, yeah, but Prabhupada said, if you chant Hare Krishna and follow the 4 regs and, take to this process, you can go back to God in this lifetime. And I know for a fact I'm definitely not as qualified as Devaki or Vasudeva to be going back in this lifetime and seeing Krishna face to face. And to be honest with you, at the risk of sounding like a sahaja, and I'm not trying to, I do see Krishna anyway, because I have that faith that the deity's worship that is going on in ISKCON under the instructions of Prabhupada, we're seeing Krishna all the time, quite frankly, in this lifetime. So yeah, all glories to Prabhupada. Okay, I'm going to end it now because he can't speak, even though he's going to try to speak. So he's still doing hand gestures and that. Okay, everyone, thank you for listening. We hope you had a lovely Lord Nrsingadev's Parents' Day, which was yesterday for you. Okay, Hare Krishna, bye.
Haribol.